Met Monday was a few weeks ago, so it's time to recreate a dress. And my very favorite dress of the night was Sabrina Carpenter's. As soon as I saw it, literally I was at an event, so I could not watch it live, but as soon as I got a picture of it from my mother, I bought film. Literally within like 5 minutes, I was searching for film to buy because I had to make this dress. I think it's so pretty. I think it's so unique. I just love everything about it. And so the film is actually getting here today, and I've been working on the base of it because nobody wants to see the base being made. Hi, Hubert. And so at first, let's talk about this. We're just diving right into the video. I thought, my first assumption was that it was a bodysuit and then the skirt pieces were on top of it. But I have been trying to find every video and angle of this dress that I can, and now I'm starting to think it wasn't a bodysuit, it's just a corset that extends long. And I'll try to put up some photos, but you can tell that the one side where there's the slit, that is way higher up on her leg than the other side. And that's kind of what started to lead me to believe it wasn't a bodysuit. And so I had already started making a bodysuit. This is it. It just hasn't been like connected yet, but I think I'm gonna scrap that idea and I'm not gonna connect it in like the crotch area. I'm gonna just use this as the base for, okay, you gotta go. I'm just gonna use it as the base. So I'm kind of working on this right now and I'll kind of show you the rest of it. I was using an Arania black bunny suit pattern and her patterns are hard to find now. She used to have a ton of free ones, but then she like closed everything. But there's like a Reddit page where you can find Google Drive with all of the patterns. So just search that up. I'm sure you'll find it. Okay, Hubert, you are seriously driving me crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna keep working on the base and the fun part will be more in depth. I think I need to like realize it's just not going to be exact unless they post behind the scenes of exactly how they made it. I'm not going to know exactly what is under there. So I normally, okay, Hubert, you seriously have a problem. Normally I do grommets the very last step of a corset, but I need to know how this is fitting. So I'm putting them in now before I do any binding of the edges and even before all of the boning is in. So I'm adding that really quick. It's a lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 22. I'm gonna have to put it. Wish me luck. It's my least favorite thing to do. Because I need to pattern the neck piece and figure the bottom of it out. It's just not gonna be exact and that's okay. I just picked the film up from my mailbox. It is exactly the right dimensions. The only thing I'm worried about is looking at what it is. It's like very dark scenes. I don't even know. This one, it's like just this man, and then a little bit later, more men come in. I wish it would focus, but it's like rather dark. And then this one is a woman. It's literally just a woman with like hair curlers in. And I haven't unrolled this enough to see what else is in there. Hers is made with the movie Sabrina. It has lighter scenes. You can see it say Sabrina and it's lighter colored. So mine's gonna be like a darker version because this is just black. I don't know why my camera always has trouble focusing. I don't remember if I mentioned it or not that I came across an issue. I got my film. I went to go get it. Oh, do you like my shirt? Ah! So I went to pick up my film from the mailbox and I was looking at it and something looked like off with it. And I was like, this does not look like Sabrina's. And then I realized that for some reason, I'm trying to open it right now. The film that I got is the edges of it are clear, and then when you hold it up against even like a white background, it's just black. You can't see the scene on it. And my sister, who does film photography and whatnot, I was showing it to her and I don't know exactly what she was saying, but apparently I have like colored movie film, and Sabrina's dress was an old movie. It was Sabrina and it was black and white, and apparently there's a difference in what that film looks like. So I was kind of in a pickle because it looked nothing like hers, but I had the idea to Sharpie the edges. So this is one roll done. You can tell like up close that it's Sharpied, but from far away I really don't think you can tell. And so even though you won't be able to see the scene on it, at least it looks more like a classic strip of film when it'll be on the dress. And This took hours. I started working on it last night, sharpening the edges, worked on it for a bit, and then my mom did a huge chunk of it for a couple hours, and then I finished it this morning, and I have a whole other roll that I haven't done. So I'm going to use up this roll, and if I need to do more, then I'll sharpen the other roll, but I'm not sharpening the other roll until I know I need to do it. So I decided today I'm gonna just start putting this onto the bodice so that I really know how much film it's gonna take up. And I'm trying to decide how I want to add it to the bodice. This is the corset I made. It is quite janky, but it'll get the job done. It actually fits incredibly well, and I like the shape it gives me. So zooming in on photos of Sabrina, you can tell that they stitched it on through the little holes in the film, like they stitched the films together. And I know I'm not constructing it the way they did. I'm pretty sure they made the base and then they stitched this onto like some mesh of the same pattern, and they layered it on top of each other. I'm just putting the film directly on the corset because I don't have time to do it the Dior way. You're fine. Calm down. So I think what I'm gonna do is, to make my life easier, glue it on, maybe hot glue. I need to see if it will ruin the film, and then stitch it on in places so that it holds together better. But I'm not stitching this whole thing. It's just not gonna happen because I'm trying to make this and get it done quick. I'm about to do my first gluing. I'm pinning it on, and I think this is actually gonna be easier than I thought. The film is kind of behaving, and it's kind of working. I did do a little test of hot glue, and I don't think it should ruin the film. I think it should be good. So I'm starting with this little one at the top, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it works out so that the whole dress can just be glued and then stitched afterwards. Literally the hardest thing when using hot glue is that the stupid new stick that you put in always wants to fall out. It's so annoying. Hot. Okay, I think it might be working. Okay, I think this is gonna work. It's not melting, it's behaving good. Let me try this next strip. You see what I mean though? I'm gluing it in spots so that I can, like instead of pins, it's glue, and then I can stitch all the pieces together. That makes the most sense in my head for how to do this efficiently. Oh my gosh, I feel like an innovator. And I think the Sharpie worked well. It definitely gives it the film look, and mine's just gonna be a darker version than Sabrina's, but oh wow, that works. And see, like this piece next will go over this one like that. Okay, we're at maybe the 15-minute update. She's coming along very nicely. I'm actually really pleased. The hardest part right now is trying not to get hot glue on the outside because it makes it look so messy. So I'm trying to use it as little as possible. I'm trying to do the smallest dots because there's some spots where you can see it, it's on there. So I'm trying to not let that happen. And I'm trying to match the pattern of this exactly to Sabrina's, but it's hard to get the angles right. I'm in definitely what is the most difficult part of this, I'm assuming, the bust area. I'm trying to do it the best I can. It's not easy. It's not easy making film curve around something because it doesn't want to curve. That's how it's coming along though. Pretty proud of it actually. I think it's gonna look really good, honestly. Genuinely, I don't remember what I last filmed for this video, but I did cover the whole thing in film. It took me a little over 6 hours, and I'm glad I'm done with that, but now it's even harder because now I had to stitch it. I glued it in place, but it's just like barely holding on, so now I've got to literally sew the pieces. Luckily, it's actually easy. I'm doing it right now. It's easy to pass a needle through the film, so I don't just have to use the holes in it because it's going through the plastic anyway. Now I'm sewing all of it down. My method here is I'm just sewing the edges first, so like around the neckline and the bottom of it. And then I will go sew the strips. Oh, this isn't going through. Then I'll sew the strips of it together after that. And I'm trying to figure out how to cover the back of it because it is a corset and I made it lacing, but I also know you can't tell how hers is closed. I think it's a zipper, but the film is covering it. So I'm gonna figure out how to cover the back of it. And I spent like an hour last night bedazzling the rest of the roll I used because her skirt is bedazzled film. Like the bodice isn't, but the skirt is. So that's how I spent my evening. I was using like little black rhinestones that I got and then a few white ones. Well, I have just wonderful news, she said sarcastically. I tried this on yesterday and the neck snapped. It literally, this piece right here, it literally just snapped right off. I turned my head, gone. So that's annoying because I built it from the top down and it's like all layered on here. So I'm going to have to kind of pull this apart, and I already cut all the threads off and try to squeeze in a different strip, and then that taught me that I need to be way more careful with it. I didn't realize that it was gonna snap. Like, it literally snapped. I don't know how, so I'm not worrying about that right now because I just want to work on the skirt. Ouch! I have a yard. Ow, I just stubbed my toe really bad. I have a yard of black chiffon. I don't know if a yard is enough, but it might be. I'm not sure. I also don't know what the pattern of her skirt is. It's very interesting. I think there might be some panels, so I'm gonna maybe try to drape it and see what we're working with. I might also end up having to order another yard of this. I'm really not sure. I think I'm going to add the skirt to the bottom. I'm gonna sew it on the inside of the bottom of this corset because I don't want it to be a whole separate skirt. I want it to be connected, but I don't know if that's the right way of doing things, but I'm doing it anyway. I'm taking a paneled approach, I guess, to this, trying to look at her skirt because you can see the seam lines on it. And there's like the front piece on this side, it's quite a wider piece, but on the side where the hip is higher up, it's like a smaller seam. So I'm just doing a rectangle to start off with, and then I'm just gonna build from there. And as long as it looks like hers, then we don't have a problem. It does not have to be exactly the way they made it. So that's currently what I'm doing, and I'm trying to make sure the hem stays nice and straight. And I can't wait to bedazzle it, but I had to sew it first. In truthfulness, I am getting to the point where I'm just over it. I just want it to be done. Lost interest. I've been working on it for over a week. So I'm like, it's also hard when there's several other people that are making it, and I don't know. It's just not my vibe to be doing. I'm just over it. So I'm trying to finish it because I took a couple days off of it, and I'm just still so annoyed that this broke off. But the reason I took a couple days off of sewing is because I've literally been spending a couple days beading the stupid arm things that are hanging off of her finger because it's beading and the beads are so small, it takes hours to get it done. So I've only made 4 of these, and I think literally I'm just over it. I'm gonna use trim with rhinestones for the rest because I think she has like 10 in total, 5 on each finger. I'm talking about the things that go around her like this because I've been sitting and beading for hours, and maybe I'll try to do 2 more so that I can have 3 on each side. But I'm gonna stop beading today, and I'm gonna finish up the skirt, which I need to hand sew it onto this and then rhinestone it. And then literally after the skirt is on, all we need to do is make the little bustle, which is super easy because it's just cutting and gluing the film strips, and hopefully I rhinestoned enough to cover it all. So with that said, I'm thinking I can finish this dress tomorrow, maybe? Doing some thinking on this bustle. First of all, I'm starting to add those strips, and I'm also starting to think I may have not made enough trim. I may need to make some more. I do have film left over, but I've not sharpied it or rhinestoned it, so we'll see if I have enough. I might, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I doubt I will. I probably underestimated how much I need. But as far as the bustle is concerned, I've been thinking about ways to do it, and I think what I'm gonna do is, obviously it's made up of little loops, so making a loop like that, and then I'm bending this end of it. So basically, let me get closer. I'm cutting a piece, making this little bend, flipping it inside itself, and then gonna glue it so it's like that, and this part is finished. And it's gonna be built upon itself, so I'm starting from the top because it's on her butt. I'm gonna make the rows, and then each subsequent like row of the loops will be attached to the bottom of this. So you're not gonna see where it's attached because it's gonna be underneath. So it'll be, let me make another strip too. So loop, Then loop underneath that loop, attached under so you can't see it. So if those are attached together like that, you see what I mean? So that's basically what I gotta do. It's just gluing that's left, and I'm not even gonna bother sewing it. I'm just gluing it because I am too lazy to sew it. And yeah, I also spent a couple hours gluing rhinestones onto the skirt, which I showed a little bit of the process, but it's honestly so boring that you don't need to see much of it. So yeah, I think it's coming along. I still need to fix this neck though. It's a little annoying. I've been debilitated with a migraine all day. I thought I was gonna finish it this morning, but then I had to be bedridden all day. And I look a mess now because I had ice pack on my head all day. And I'm finishing it up now. I hate my fingers. They're like the worst part about me. Ugh, I just hate them. But I made these wire rings to attach the beads to. It's literally just hot glued together. So now I just need to add the strings of beads and then add it to the neck, and I think it'll be done.